I'm Fiona. I live out in San Francisco, an English girl living in the States, trying to live her best life, even in the presence of COVID-19. I wanted to come on here and share my reflections, or some of them, and my experiences and the impact of being in lockdown and how I've been managing and coping with that. I'm a performance consultant and coach, background in sports psychology, but now predominantly working in the corporate world. And this has definitely had an impact. Another thing as part of my lockdown experience is that I have an ongoing knee injury that I've also been contending with, having had surgery in December. The surgery, unfortunately, hasn't fixed the problem, and I'm very much in the throes of figuring all of that out with my doctor, but more on that in a moment. COVID-19, though, what impact is that having? In short, as I'm sure you will agree, it's having a pretty big impact across the world. The world is on shutdown. Or, as I like to think of it, we're on a little pause and having an opportunity to reset. And that is really how I've been approaching this whole period, an opportunity to reset myself. I was told years ago that we have 4 pillars that make up our life: our relationships, our career, our health and well-being, and our fun, or labels to that effect. And the things that we do each day fall into one of those 4 pillars. However, we can't have all 4 firing at 100% all at the same time. We just don't have the capacity to be able to do that. The question I was then asked is, how much am I choosing what I'm focusing on versus it being dictated by other factors? And how is that making me feel? Is what I'm doing what I want to be? The reason that I share that is because this is what I started to think through going into lockdown, to make some choices around what it was that I wanted to spend my time on and do, and how it's really helped me manage what's going on and give me some element of certainty when there is so much uncertainty. So, career. Probably going to have to take a little bit of a back burner through this time, but how am I going to maintain my personal development and growth so that I am ready when things shift again? Because things will shift. Also, just finding opportunities where I can utilize my skills. I have had the opportunity to do some virtual delivery, which has been fantastic. And I've also been writing blogs for a website, The All-Terrain Athlete, that's run by my friend Rich, around developing your mindset, how to maintain my relationships through COVID-19 actually hasn't shifted or changed that much. Having moved out to the States, it's something that I was already doing in terms of making sure I'm making an effort to connect in with friends and family. I just feel like now it's more of a conscious effort from everybody, doing a regular check-in just to make sure that everybody is okay, given that we're cooped up at home. Now, the fun pillar. What are some of the things that I would love to do, excited to do, but don't usually get the time to do? This was a long list because I'm like a child and I want to do everything. I'm all about having fun, but I just don't usually get to have the time to do all of these different things. And I've been given a blank piece of paper, time. What am I going to do with this? I love being creative, and this was an opportunity for me to tap into my creativity, and it comes out in many different ways. So I have been cooking loads. I jumped on the sourdough bandwagon. I actually went on a sourdough bread making course a few years ago. Have I been making bread since that course? Nope. Because it takes time. I've been able to really embrace doing sourdough, and I'm getting pretty damn good at it. I've also been doing a bit of painting and drawing, just messing around really. I love makeup. I have a huge love for makeup, so I've been playing around with new makeup looks just for fun, dancing around the house because why not? makes me happy and it changes my mood instantly. Reading and listening to audiobooks, not gonna lie, also been on Instagram looking at memes, watching Gogglebox clips and possibly a lot of Disney. Again, it makes me happy, so no judgment. But my main focus has been on my health and well-being, centered around my knee and the rehab and recovery that I mentioned earlier. Bit of background, I had an ACL reconstruction done over 15 years ago from a netball injury. All been great since. I like to be active, but last summer something aggravated my knee. I ended up having surgery in December to clean up a tear in my meniscus that they thought was the cause of the pain that I was having. They found that I also had a defective cartilage when they did that surgery that seems to have been there since my ACL was done. They were hoping that wasn't the cause of my pain, as that's a bit more complicated. All went well. Rehab started with my physio, was progressing, and the pain had gone. Yay! I've also been working on maintaining my level of fitness throughout all of this. I learned from my ACL that if you don't maintain, it's really hard to get back to where you were. So I've been working with my friend Rich, who's a personal trainer and the founder of the All Terrain Athlete, who I've been writing the mindset blogs for, on my fitness. He really gets me and has been doing some incredible things around my knee, so I'm safely pushing myself without compromising my knee recovery at all. Found that there's always a way around to what you traditionally might have wanted to do or what you've always done. Here's a little glimpse of what we were working on back in February when we could go to the gym, pre-COVID-19 restricting what we could do in life. Pretty crazy, right? Rich was getting me to focus on my upper body and slowly introducing controlled leg movements. So this is what we would do, is that we would adapt and change things, whatever suited me and my knee at that time. I also wanted to master the pull-ups. I have not mastered them yet. They are so freaking hard, but I'm determined to get there. And Richard also introduced some really fun gymnastic moves that I'd never done before, so it was super fun. I had my physio sessions twice a week, and I was training with Rich twice a week. Boom. However, in the last maybe month, 6 weeks or so, it's gone backwards. The pinching pain that I was having in my knee before I had surgery in December is back. So I've had to go back to using my knee brace that I had before my surgery in December. And then COVID-19 is hugely impacted this side of my life. Impacted, yes, not prevented. It just looks a bit different. So I wanted to share with you what, on most part, a week in my life during quarantine looks like with a knee injury and how I am working around it. Start of the week, and I'm gonna do my rehab session at home, so wish me luck.
I was knocked down, heard the countdown through the haze, in the face of defeat, yeah. I was ruled out with no bailout, on my own, all alone, left to bleed out. But I rose up from the ground, just like I was spellbound. All the odds were against me, so I picked up the pace, and now I'm in the race. Give me some space. I'm a movement.
Knee-specific rehab session number 1 done for the week. Tick. My aim is to do 3 to 4 of these knee rehab sessions each week, and this is on top of the training and fitness that I do with Rich. These specific rehab sessions that I do were built by my physio, or physical therapist as they're called out here in the States, Ali. She's been working with me since my knee surgery that I had in December, so she's been sort of progressing me throughout the last few months. Since lockdown, all of my rehab sessions are now at home. I use every bit of space possible. And then I have virtual check-ins with Ali to, one, check in with progress, how things are feeling, if there's anything that needs adapting or changing, how can we increase it if we need to, and works with me week on week. And we have an online portal as well that we can send notes to each other. I know I said I try and aim to do 3 to 4, but with working with Rich, he definitely has incorporated a lot of my rehab exercises into the training sessions that we do with him. I definitely listen to my body, being in tune and not pushing it as much as I feel like I want to or would like to. Anyway, my sessions end each time with a stretching. So I have a lovely TheraBand that I use to help with me do this. So I have 5 stretches that I do on each leg and do 3 rounds of each of those. Stretching has definitely become a regular occurrence that I am, 1, loving, and 2, is just really helping with the speed of my recovery. So stretch, always stretch. Okay, I'm gonna sign off there and get my stretching done, and I will check in with you again soon. Hey, so I'm gonna go on a walk, but it's not as easy as just walking out the door. I have to now put this bad boy on. So every time I go on, I now have to wear this knee brace when I go out walking. It's become part of me. Knee brace is on. Very fetching, ready to go out. Hey, so I shared that I'd started to do sourdough and that I was getting pretty good at it. And I was thinking maybe this could be a new career for me, just in case things don't go as planned. Well, I made some this morning, and I just put it out there. Well, actually, before I even put it in the oven, it got stuck in the frigging breathing basket, which then I panicked, so just battered it out. Thought, we'll just bake it anyway, see what happens. Doesn't really look like it's supposed to. I'll let you see. So that is my sourdough. I don't know if you can see it properly. I don't know if you want to see it properly. I mean, it's a little bit squished and flat. It's supposed to be basically supposed to be maybe that shape, upside down, compare and contrast.
Not quite. I'm sure it'll taste fine, and we'll eat it anyway, but thought I'd just share.
Hi! So I just got off a virtual consultation with my surgeon. We were reviewing my CT scan and the x-ray that I just had to see where things are at. Surgery didn't work. Things are actually going back to the way it was before surgery. Nothing's worse, I guess, from these CT scans and x-ray. It's kind of confirmed what we already thought. So next stage is that I'm going to have to go in for a physical assessment this week and to discuss next stages. So watch this space.
But anyway, I just thought I'd let you know I'm off to train in the park, get my daily exercise outside. I'm sure Rich is gonna beast me, but it'll be good. Yeah. There's a lot of hills in San Francisco. It's good. Get a little bit of a workout in itself, but when you've got this lovely thing, it makes it a bit more challenging. Just finished my session with Rich. As you can tell, pretty sweaty. Here's where I work out. If you can see, it's kind of become the workout space for everyone in this area in San Francisco. So it's in the park, and there's just this like move around this area, so everyone keeps within 6 feet just to make sure that they get the daily workout in. It's great to just get outside actually, and not just for the walk but do some exercise as well. So yeah, I've been using all of my ropes and bands and stuff like that, as you can see. But yeah, workout done, feeling great, feeling knackered, want to go home and eat, so I'm gonna go. See you later, bye. Actually, very good point. Gonna bacterial my hands now, and then I'm gonna set off. Well, I had a bit of time, and look, I know, looking a little bit glam. I said I'd been enjoying playing around with makeup, so had some time to just try a new look out. I mean, very glam considering I'm going to be staying inside, although I do have a virtual catch up with some friends, so lucky them, they get all of this. Anyway, okay, back from my surgeon's follow-up appointment from the virtual one I had the other day. Wanted to do the physical evaluation assessment of how my knee is feeling and also discuss next steps. From that, there is definitely a lot of tenderness on my medial where that cartilage, the defective cartilage is. We are therefore going ahead with the first stage surgery. So there's 2 stages. First one will be a biopsy, and he will also assess the inside of my knee to see whether the defect has got any worse. And then we will make a decision on whether we go to the second stage, which is the big operation where they would put the graft from the biopsy over the defect, and they would also redo my ACL at the same time, which would be a 3-month on crutches, 12-month recovery, just getting my head around that and getting ready for it. But first thing to focus on is the first stage one and getting the biopsy, which will be hopefully either the 4th of June or the 18th of June, still up in the air because of everything that's going on with COVID-19. I will have to have a COVID-19 test 3 days before the surgery to make sure that I haven't got it, because if I have, then I can't go in for surgery. So fingers crossed, I keep COVID-19 at bay for a little bit longer and I can get in for that first stage surgery.
There we have it. A glimpse into my average week with knee recovery in lockdown. It's not too bad. Could be worse. I am now going to be focusing on doing all I can to get ready for this next stage in my knee recovery, the upcoming surgery and whatever it is that comes next after that. I have set Rich the challenge of how I'm going to train post this surgery, so that could be fun and terrifying, both at the same time. I think on reflection and looking at what's helped me, I would say to try to do more of the things that you really enjoy and embrace this time that we find ourselves in. Look for the positives and opportunities that we might not always necessarily see straight away. Focus on what you can control and things will fall into place. Maybe not exactly how we thought, but we can definitely adapt around that. And lastly, you can't do everything at full capacity. So to make some conscious choices as to what it is that you are going to be focusing on at that moment and be accepting of that, I really find that helps us move forward. I am going to attempt to get back on my sourdough game, and I have not been deterred. Yes, I did eat the last loaf, and yes, it did taste okay, so there is hope. But anyway, thank you for watching and I hope you've enjoyed it. Maybe I'll come back and give you a little bit of an update of my knee injuries and surgery in the midst of COVID-19. But in the meantime, stay safe and take care.